back. Ooh, ow, I just like yanked on my earring, but welcome back to my channel. And as you can tell from the title below, I will be doing my first time. I will be talking about my first time. I basically just answer when was my first time doing a couple things, like several things. If you clicked on this video because you thought I was going to be talking about that nasty, sorry to disappoint, but this video is not about that. Alright, so if you haven't watched my previous video, then I suggest you guys go watch it right away. And now we will be getting into the video. So I will be answering 10 questions, and I have it all on my iPad. I'm just gonna answer it. I was gonna just read it off my phone, but I can see better on here, so I'm just gonna do it on here. And if you guys are wondering, like, I don't know if you guys are wondering, but just in case, the lipstick I have on is Diamond by Jeffree Star from his family collection or whatever. So yeah, and this I got from Aeropostale, in case you guys are wondering. I don't know if you are, but I'm just answering questions. Okay, so the first question is, when was my favorite toy? Not my favorite toy. When was my first toy? What was my first toy? My first toy was honestly like a huge, if I can find it, I know it's somewhere here in the house. My mom doesn't throw anything away. It was a huge, like a super big Minnie Mouse teddy bear, basically. Yeah, and how I got that was because it was before I was born. Because my mom, she wanted a girl so bad, but she ended up getting 2 boys, which are my 2 older brothers. And then the 3rd time she got pregnant, she didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. And yeah, my dad basically surprised her with a huge teddy bear. And she was like, oh, just in case it is a girl. And I ended up being a girl, so I got that, and I still have it. It is like the cutest thing ever, and it is so big. I love it, and I'm probably never gonna throw it away, because when I get older, I'm going to, yeah, when I have kids and stuff, if I have a girl, hopefully I do, I want to give it to my little girl, and so forth. When she has her children, she can give it to her little girl, and all that. And she actually got it in some mall, some Disney store at a mall. I forgot what it's called. You guys might know what it is. That's from what she told me, so I don't know, maybe somebody in the comments knows. Question number 2, my first time riding an airplane. I believe maybe I was around like 3 or 2, and I was actually going to Cuba. So yeah, that was my first time riding an airplane. I was going to Cuba. I know that was one of my first times. Yeah, the first time I ever flew, I was going to Cuba. When I was younger, I went to Cuba a lot. And if you haven't went to Cuba yet, I do suggest you guys go visit Cuba. It is like a really pretty place. Like, the beaches are really nice. They're beautiful. The sand is all white and pretty. And it's just very, very nice. And it's definitely like a place to go during the summer, because it's really hot and you can go to the beach, and they have so many, their pizza there. Cuban pizza is the bomb, like, I promise you. And their spaghetti too. My mom loves the spaghetti. I personally don't eat spaghetti, but if you do, you will like that. Question number 3. It says, what was my first word? My first word. My first word was actually daddy. And my mom thought that my first word was gonna be mommy, because she was like so in love with me. Like, as soon as I came out the womb, she was just like, oh, I wanted a girl so bad. And like, she wanted, I mean, yeah, my first time the first word I ever said was daddy, I'm pretty sure. Well, papi, that was the first word I ever said. And I think it was like one time that, from what I'm trying to remember what my mom told me. Yeah, like, my dad was actually at work, but he came home earlier and I was in my crate. And then my mom had just put me down in my crate and she was making food. My dad came home early and mom was like, don't go in the room. If you go in the room, she's gonna wake up, she's gonna start crying, da da da. But I don't know why, but I felt like I heard my dad. So I got up and I was just like, oh my God. And then my dad was just playing like in the crack of the door and he could see me and he was just like, and I was getting all hyped and I said, daddy, daddy. And that was basically my first word. Fourth question, my very first pets. My very first pet before I moved here was a little puppy called a Nina, which means girl. Well, basically when I was younger, and still now, like my parents are still like that. When I was younger, everything was split equally between me and my brothers. Like, I'm the girl, but still there was no favoritism. Like, we're all the same, so nobody gets special treatment. So basically, I wanted to get a puppy, and since I wanted to get a puppy, all my brothers got a puppy too. And my two older brothers, one of them got a girl, and he named her Chula, which just means like pretty. The second one from my second oldest brother, he got a boy, and it was Chihuahuas. We like Chihuahuas. Well, I like Huskies, but I'm not gonna get a Husky until I'm way older. But anyways, my second older brother, he got a boy and his name was Pipito. And then mine, since I was the youngest and the only girl, I just decided to name mine Nina, which means girl. And the fifth question is my very first friend. Well, my very first best friend. Honestly, I don't remember who was my very first best friend. I think my very first best friend was Diamond. Yeah, I feel like my very first best friend was Diamond or Destiny. One of them two. Yeah. It was Diamond or Destiny, or just both of them. They were both my very first best friends. Yeah, they were my two very first best friends, and I still love them very, very much. Regardless if we don't talk like every day, like I still really love them. It's one of those friendships that when you don't, like, you can go a long time without talking to each other, and then when you guys talk again, it's like you guys never stop talking. That's basically it. Number 6, my very first job. My very first job was Taco Bell, and I don't even want to discuss Taco Bell because I cannot stand Taco Bell. I mean, I like their food, but personally just working there, oh man, it was just so hectic. And then I would get put on the drive-thru all the time because it's like, I don't know, I guess the way my Taco Bell worked, they just, like, people that go through the drive-thru, they never put guys through the drive-thru. They always put, like, I don't want to say this in, like, a conceited way, but they always put, like, the best-looking people, well, the best-looking girls on drive-thru because I guess it was just strategy that when customers come through the line through, they like to see a pretty face or whatever. So I would get put on the drive-thru all the time because my manager would always say, oh my God, you're so pretty, like, you need to go on the drive-thru. I hated being on the drive-thru. Like, I had to take the order. I had 2 screens in front of me, and I had to take the order. I had to get the order in one screen, and then I had to cash out the person in the drive-thru. Oh my God. And when they would give me, it was all fine when they gave me, like, their credit card, because all I would do was just listen, put it in, just swipe the card, and that's it. but when they would give me an order, especially the long order, especially when they would give me a long order and then somebody gave me like a $50 bill or something, I had to like count it down, I had to count all the change, and it was just like so horrible. Oh my god, I don't even want to remember that, to be honest. Question number 7. My very first phone. I don't remember. I think my very first phone was when I started middle school, and I got a BlackBerry, like a little cute, small BlackBerry. Question number 8. The very first time I slept over at a friend's house. Well, I'm gonna switch it to the very first time a friend slept over my house, because even till this day, I'm not allowed to sleep over anybody's house. Like, my parents are super overprotective. They don't trust. You could be my bestest friend. They will never let me sleep over nobody's house, which I don't mind. I don't mind at all. But the very first time I ever had a friend sleep over my house, I think it was like middle school. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it could have been Kiki. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it could have been Kiki. And to this day, me and her are still really good friends. And if you are watching this, Kiki, I love you. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. That's my baby. Alright, so question number 9, the very first time I had something of value, like something that I cherish a lot. The very first thing I ever received, anything that I cherished a lot, was honestly, I think my very first necklace. Yeah. Sorry. Was this necklace. I will show you guys right now. This was my very first thing of value, and I cherish this a lot. I got this when I was 15, and then my grandma's grandma actually got this, and it had a different charm on it, or pendant on it. Yeah, it had a different pendant on it, and she actually lost it. So when she switched it, she got this, and it's just a pyramid that says Amanauta, and this just gives you like a lot of luck. And a lot of people always ask me, is it Illuminati? No, it's not Illuminati. This is just a pyramid that's supposed to give you luck, and it says Amanauta. Then it has a little eye, and like the eye just protects you, basically. It just like, I'm not even gonna go in detail of that. Just know that it like gives me luck, and it just helps me out and everything. I believe in all that stuff, so yeah, it's just supposed to give me luck and just protect me and everything, which I cherish a lot. And then my grandma, my grandma's grandma, so my great grandma, I think this was called, yeah, her name was Mommy. So when she had her daughter, which was my grandma, she gave it to her when she was 15. Then when my mom turned 15, my grandma gave it to her. And then when I turned 15, my mom gave it to me. So now I have this, and now when I have a daughter and she turns 15, I'm gonna give this to her, and so forth. Alright, so the question number 10 and the last question will be the first time I went to a club by myself. And when I say by myself, I basically mean like without like supervision from like my cousins, my parents, my uncles, and stuff like that. Because the first time I went to a club, like the very first time I went to a club, was actually with my cousins, my older cousins in Miami. So yeah, I basically, like, I mean, it wasn't weird, but I was just with them the whole time. So it was like, I mean, I still had fun, but that's not really like my first time, because I really didn't enjoy myself since I felt like my parents were there, you know? But the first time I went was actually like maybe like a month or two ago. And I went with like a very close friend of mine. Her name is Marlene. And then I went with another close friend of mine, which I both of them I met at work, but they're two very close friends of mine. One is Marlene and the other one is Carissa. And then I went with my brother and his friend Marcellus. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this, my first time tag or challenge, however you guys want to call it. And oh wow, it's been off the whole time. I didn't even notice. That's really annoying. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know down in the comments below if you guys would like to see anything else. And if you are subscribed, then give this a thumbs up and let me know if you like this video and what else you guys want to see. And if you aren't subscribed, then subscribe, because I might put another video and you might end up liking that video more than this one. So yes, subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys next time.